CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Thank you for joining us. Lawless, that's how our city's mayor is describing parts of Barrie's downtown core. Months after declaring a state of emergency, Mayor Nuttall is doubling down with what he thinks will help clean it up. Let's go now to CTV's Luke Samardi. He joins us live tonight with more. Luke.
Well, Sarah, we caught up with the mayor as he went door to door visiting businesses, outlining his plans to take back the city streets.
The feeling that I get, and like the feeling that I have myself, is why is there one set of laws for those who are dealing drugs and using drugs, another set of laws for everybody else?
In the crosshairs, lawlessness, closing down illegal dispensaries, taking over outreach services, and petitioning Barrie Police to focus efforts on a zero-tolerance approach for drug use.
There's no question that there's a demand for more policing in downtown Barrie. We've had the 12 new special constables. It's important that we have officers visual and visible and in place at all possible times.
Businesses receptive of the mayor's approach.
It's concerning. It's concerning for all the businesses downtown, and you know there's perception of people coming downtown, and it's never great with the laws and the open drug use, and I believe he has a plan, and I think it's going to work.
Now the mayor wants to crack down and introduce stiffer penalties on those involved in illegal dispensaries or openly using on the streets.
Real penalties for drug dealing and for being part of the problem. We need the prosecution to prosecute these drug dealers to the fullest extent of the law, and we need the police to be able to enforce these laws on our streets.
Strong enforcement from the police, strong prosecution, and stiff penalties handed out from our judges, while still helping those who want it, but taking the matter into his own hands.
We're constantly trying to ensure that our parks are safe and that our open spaces are safe, but we don't have control of the outreach services, and it's a place where I think that we've been lacking in downtown Barrie.
Looking at a plan that would see Barrie outreach services be taken away from the county and handed over to the city. Outreach services like the Busby Centre supporting a collaborative approach.
We want everybody to be well in our communities. We want everybody to be safe, and that's something that we have to collaborate on. You know, all levels of government, all service groups, all community.
These ideas will be discussed at council tomorrow night. And as for a discussion on the state of emergency, Mayor Nuttall says there is no immediate plan to end that emergency declaration. Reporting live, I'm Luke Samard. Sarah, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, thanks for that, Luke. Now, please do stay tuned because a little later in the show, Mayor Nuttall will be joining us here in studio. He'll expand on this conversation one-on-one, as well as break down the action plan further, explain why he thinks it can be successful and how he's pushing for a zero-tolerance approach to drug use. A serious crash in Barrie shut down a major road for several hours today. Here's a look at the scene on Huronia Road earlier between Saunders and Lockhart Road, where emergency crews rushed in just before noon. Police say two drivers, a man and a woman, were involved in the two-vehicle collision, both with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, police have arrested a 34-year-old man at Georgian Mall this afternoon. This is following reports that several women were inappropriately touched. Officers say the investigation is ongoing and are asking anyone with information to come forward. And now to Muskoka, where the worst of the flooding seems to have passed, but some communities aren't in the clear just yet. Here's CTV's Mike Lang with the latest on the recovery efforts in the north.
Although Tuesday was another rainy day, most flooded areas in Bracebridge have dried up from what's been the worst flood season since 2019.
The visual inspections show that we're down considerably in terms of water levels, so that's a welcome relief for the folks that have been impacted.
As snowpack and ice melt have become less of a factor, problem areas such as River Road have improved remarkably over the weekend. All roads are now open in the town and across the district.
Now we're starting to look at recovery mode.
The town is offering multiple disposal sites for the 25,000 used sandbags, while the district is helping get rid of flood-related debris.
Just go online and fill out a little bit of information, and then you can drop off any flood-related debris for free.
However, not all areas are out of the water yet.
So the water was all the way up the driveway.
John Laud and others who live near the Bracebridge boat launch still have parts of the elevated Muskoka River on their properties.
My dock was in danger of being washed down the river, so I had to secure the dock and just hold it kind of as best I could.
While Laud's home wasn't hit the hardest, he's been collecting plenty of flood debris and lending a hand to his neighbors.
My neighbors couldn't even get get to their property, so they've been parking in my driveway and up on the laneway.
Lower level areas around Bala and Muskoka lakes also continue to be impacted.
Further down the watershed, the longer it takes and the more severe the flooding can be. So we still got people affected.
The district confirms the 4 people who needed to be evacuated have been able to return home. The financial impact for the town and district is not yet known. Like with any major weather event, the town will be holding a debrief to review its response to this year's flooding and will be looking at impacted areas of infrastructure to assess and repair the damage that's been caused. Mike Lang, CTV News, Bracebridge.
Now back here in Barrie, the spring flood impacts are minimizing, but water levels in some areas may still take some more time to go back down. This especially after the rain that we saw early today. Our CTV camera was down by the Barrie waterfront, bringing us this view of Lake Simcoe, where officials are saying that the water level is still above average. It's been a bit of a dreary day. Now, I drove to Collingwood first thing this morning. It was raining heavily at first, but as I headed farther north, the sky cleared. Now, just those pesky clouds hanging around, but will that be for long? Why don't we go ahead and bring in Casey Colby? I'm fairly certain you can probably answer that question for us, eh, Case?
Sun was just out.
Oh,
just momentarily.
peekaboo.
Sun peeked out, peekaboo, and then it was gone. And that's been pretty much the day. That's the amount of sunshine we've basically had. A dreary day pretty much across the board. Yeah, I was in northern part of our viewing region as well, and not a lot of sunshine, no. Rain, well, we just had a little of that too. Let's talk about a first look at the forecast right now. Brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com. Your local gravel driveway expert. 15 degrees. Winds are out of the southwest, very light for the time being. This is a look at the temperature where you are. If you're in Alliston, 15 degrees. 13 in the sunshine city of Aurelia. Not much sunshine. 9 degrees in Parry Sound, 14 in Owen Sound, 16 in Toronto. Is that a hot spot? I do believe it is. 16 degrees in Toronto. Oh, and a little shower activity. Yes, this is the radar satellite images over the last little while. And yeah, there's a band of showers. There is a band of showers, and there's more showers, more bands of showers on the way. And coming up, Sarah, in just a few minutes' time, not only will I tell you when these bands of showers arrive, I will also tell you when we see the sun. Oh, there's some blue sky. The sun again. Yes, the sun again. All that coming up in a few minutes' time. Back inside Sarah.
Now, we do need to turn to a live look, but this is a sobering scene found over Barrie tonight. Here's a live view of Highway 400 in Barrie from our CTV tower camera, but you can see the Barrie Simcoe Emergency Services campus on Fairview Road and the landmark 70-foot Canadian flag sitting at half-mast. This is to observe the National Day of Mourning and to recognize the death of an OPP officer. In fact, all across the province, condolences are pouring in from the police and community and local officials for the friends and family of Sergeant Brendan Malcolm. That's the OPP officer who died in the line of duty. As CTV Sean Leathong reports, an investigation is now underway.
The loss of OPP Sergeant Brendan Malcolm is being felt here at the Northumberland Detachment in Cobourg, a place he called home for nearly 6 years, seeing cards and flowers today.
Because I just felt bad of what happened last night, and I just felt like I wanted to drop some flowers off.
It's heartbreaking. It's sad.
I think it's an opportunity to say the sorts of things that we probably should say on a daily basis, how much we appreciate the police and their dedication to keeping us safe.
Ian McFarland dropped off a card this afternoon to express gratitude along with sorrow.
Bottom line is he's a member of the police community, of our community, and we've lost a good man.
5:30 yesterday afternoon, OPP received a call for a single vehicle crash along the 401 just west of Cobourg. Sergeant Malcolm was pronounced dead on scene. As a procession of officers lined up last night to show their respect, OPP Commissioner Thomas Carrick spoke of the loss.
His career goal was to become a police officer. He had been an auxiliary member with Toronto Police, a member of the Canadian Armed Forces, and in 2020 he joined the Ontario Provincial Police.
Brandon was with the OPP for just under 6 years. He was a recruit previous to coming to Northumberland Detachment. He was a member of the Golden Helmets precision riding team.
The Golden Helmets are a skilled OPP motorcycle team.
They're the highest trained and most capable motorcycle riders we have in policing.
According to the OPP, the single vehicle crash remains under investigation. while there was also a secondary crash involving police nearby with no serious injuries. No cause has been given for either. Today, the president of the Ontario Provincial Police Association says mental health supports are being offered to colleagues, while members of the community say they are feeling this grief.
Hits close to home like that, it affects everybody, right?
It's rare. In fact, it's not occurred in the 13 years that I've been living here.
It's so sad to hear that there's no evidence of another vehicle. It's very bewildering.
The Provincial Police Association says they're connecting with Sergeant Malcolm's family in the Maritimes.
Shawnee Thong, CTV News.
Our region's largest hospital has undergone some upgrades that are already making a difference, improving access and reducing wait times. Let's go ahead and bring in CTV's Jack Morris. He joins us live from the Royal Victoria Regional Health Centre tonight. He brings us more on how it's going to meet the growing demand for care. Jack.
Well, Sarah, 2 new MRIs are now up and running here at RVH. It's a major improvement to diagnostics, a major upgrade, and a big improvement to quality of care right here in our region. The massive machines were craned in near the end of last summer. Since then, they've been installed, tested, and are fully operational, now scanning patients from across our region. Before getting the 2 new diagnostic imaging tools, RVH was doing 23,000 scans a year. The new MRI are more comfortable, faster, and more precise. That speed means more patients through the machines and more appointments in the same amount of time, increasing the total amount available for a growing population.
Selfishly on my end, the pictures look nicer. They're easier for me to read, but really it's the confidence that comes with that when it comes to planning patients' care.
As somebody who is living with cancer, I'm in many scans for my surveillance. It's so nice to know that we are always working on top of the line technology for our patients, and so I'm truly grateful from it from a patient perspective.
So now there's another MRI that's coming to our region. It's planned for Innisfil to open this fall, and that one, much like these ones here in the same technology, is expected to add an additional 4,000 spots for appointments for the next year. A big jump in diagnostic imaging in our region. Sarah.
Thanks for that, Jack. That's our Jack Morris reporting live tonight from RVH. A new purpose-built rental development is coming to Barrie, bringing a boost in affordable housing. Mayor Alex Nuttall and JD Development Group are teaming up for the project, which will see a 12-story building go up on Lakeside Terrace. It will feature 231 units, including 46 that are set aside as affordable housing.
Young people who are still living in their parents' basements that can't find an affordable place to live, this is an option. Seniors that are looking for an affordable place to live with an affordability crunch, the grocery stores hitting pockets, this is now an option. And
city leaders say this construction project marks another move to help more Barrie residents find a safe place to call home. A defense witness took the stand in the trial of 2 men accused of kidnapping in Bradford, describing what he saw when a group of men showed up at his home unannounced. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports.
The defense called subpoenaed witness Rocky Tangretta to the stand in the trial of accused kidnappers Taj Morrow and Rashawn Montlouis. Tangretta told the court about the night 4 men came to his Bradford home unannounced around midnight, November 13, 2023. He said he knew all the men and learned there had been a fight at a nearby home, and the complainant was brought to his place to, quote, get away from what was happening. Tangretta said he learned an argument broke out because the complainant was talking to another man's girlfriend, and the complainant told him he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Last week, the complainant testified he was assaulted, robbed, kidnapped, and driven to another location where he'd been held against his will. The man told the court he had made plans that night to meet and do drugs with a woman named Mandy when he was rushed by 2 men and beaten. He said his keys, wallet, and cell phone were taken from him, and he only escaped when one of his kidnappers fell asleep. Tangretta describing all 4 men involved as friends and acquaintances he knew from around town. One of the men, Ryan Kempton, was convicted and sentenced earlier this year for his role in the kidnapping. His co-accused, Montlouis of Innisfil and Morrow of Toronto, are on trial accused of robbery and kidnapping. Charges of uttering death threats were dropped by the Crown. The complainant told the court of his long-standing addiction issues and remembered being given drugs by his captors, including crack cocaine. He identified Montlouis and Morrow as his kidnappers. Tangretta testified he knew the men by aliases from houses in Bradford where he'd visit to hang out, drink, and do drugs. Tangretta says he knew Mandy and her boyfriend Connor, who has since passed away. The trial is scheduled to continue tomorrow. Mike Arsleedy, CTV News, Barrie.
Today is National Day of Mourning, honoring those who have died or been injured on the job. And this year there is a particular focus on mental health. Experts say this is one of the biggest workplace safety challenges we're seeing right now. Today at Barrie City Hall, the Barrie and District Labour Council joined other organizations to call for stronger solutions, saying workers should not just survive, but instead thrive.
By working together, by calling out and saying what is unsafe, what do we need to survive and thrive in this economy, in these workplaces. Everybody needs a chance to be listened to.
The Labour Council adding focus will be put on functioning workplace health and safety programs, balanced workloads, role clarity, mutual respect, and technology use, not misuse. The Barrie Colts are back on home ice tonight with a big chance to swing momentum, looking to even up their OHL semi-final series against the Brantford Bulldogs. Let's get to where the action is happening this hour. That's Sadlon Arena here in Barrie. Our Rob Cooper is standing by. Rob, what's on the line tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Sarah. Game 4 is always a pivotal game in a 7-game series. Now, we won't call this a must-win situation for the Colts tonight, but they would certainly like to pick up the W to try and even this series up at 2 games apiece. The game itself is set for 7 o'clock. You can see behind me, fans are now slowly starting to make their way into Sadlon Arena. Earlier today, the Colts took part in an early morning skate. Barrie running through some drills just after 10 this morning. The Colts needing a win tonight to even up the series at 2 games apiece. The Bulldogs beat Barrie 2-0 in Game 3 here at Sadlon Arena. Cole Baudouin was held off the score sheet for the first time in 13 playoff games. Both teams failed to score on the power play.
It's 2-1, nothing to panic about, you know. Just be dialed today and play our best game tonight.
Play to our play style. I think we feel really good. We feel really good about the series when we're playing at our best, and when we're physical, a lot of energy, a lot of fast-paced plays. So I think it's just honestly play to our identity and true to ourselves, and we should be good.
And of course, exciting news for Kayshawn Aitchison as he was named the top defenseman for the OHL. He, of course, is a first-round draft pick of the New York Islanders. Today, he told me the award is nice, but his focus is on the team and evening up this series here tonight in Barrie. Okay, back live at Sadlon Arena again. Tonight, game time is set for 7 o'clock. Barrie trailing this best-of-7 series 2-1. A little later, we will be speaking with Barrie's head coach Dylan Smoskowitz as the team tries again to even up this series. 7 o'clock, game time, Sarah. Should be an exciting night. Of course, we'll have that for you later on in the show. Let's go back to you in the newsroom.
Yes, I think all Colts fans are waiting patiently, and we'll join back in with Rob a little later in the newscast.
The road to the Memorial Cup is brought to you by the Boots and Hearts Barn Burner Charity Hockey Game.
All right, still to come, expanding on our top story tonight, Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall will be joining us in studio. Plus, it's a Friday night filled with song. This local choir has the sound and the moves. If you're a fan of Broadway, you don't want to miss this local show. And dozens of teams took to the court for some high-octane pickleball driven by school spirit. Details coming up next here on CTV Barrie. Earlier today, Mayor Alex Nuttall, speaking with CTV's Luke Samard, unveiled some ideas that include strong-handed measures to restore order and what he calls a lawlessness downtown. Joining us now in the CTV Barrie studio is Mayor Alex Nuttall. Those are some strong words. Why did you feel the need to word it as lawlessness downtown?
Well, I think, Sarah, the reality is when drugs are allowed to be used without trouble being given, without any sort of charges being given, without them being removed altogether, that is a state of lawlessness. But the good news, I think, is that everybody is ready to move forward with a program that will help the individuals who are using drugs, and restore that great community that we have in downtown Barrie. So, I think it's really important when we're talking about these items that are hurting our city, that we confront them, name them, and take them head on instead of trying to hide them over time.
Now, there's a line about zero tolerance, a policy for drug use, mandatory rehabilitation. How is that going to work with Barrie Police? How do you direct policing?
Well, we can't direct the police, but what we can do is we can ask. And this is a continued conversation that the police board, our executive team at the police department have constantly. And we've got amazing people who work the street every single day. We need to make sure that there are no drugs left on the street. If somebody's smoking crack or doing some form of fentanyl or heroin or whatever they're doing, that we have a police service out to lay charges in those circumstances and hopefully transition those people into a program that will help them get off of those types of addictions and drugs. It's also important that we have the necessary outreach out there to offer the help and support to get into rehabilitation, to get into those support services, to find that opportunity going forward. But we need both the help of outreach services and the enforcement of our Canadian laws in order to be able to ensure that our downtown is the safe place that I know it can be.
You've been really outspoken about illegal dispensaries, whether that's mushrooms or that's cannabis. How is that going to fit into this plan?
Well, I want to say this in no uncertain terms. We are going to shut down illegal drug dispensaries in the city of Barrie. If you run a mushroom shop, we are going to find a way to shut you down. If you run an illegal and unlicensed marijuana shop, we are coming for your storefront. There is no mincing words. If you allow illegal drugs to be sold through storefronts, no wonder you're facing fentanyl on the streets of our city. We have to have the standards and regulations in place to ensure that drugs are not a normal thing on the streets of the city of Barrie. And I can tell you, we're targeting the operations, but more than that, we are starting to target the building owners who are renting these spaces to these types of stores.
Okay, so how are you going to do that, and when can we see something being done? When will be put into action?
Well, it's my belief that the rent checks that are coming from these facilities are proceeds of crime. They're being paid to the building owners. Those payments are, buying other buildings, they're buying cars, they're supporting a lifestyle. Those proceeds of crime need to be shut down, and our zoning department is going to be working with us over the next month to change the zoning bylaws to allow for us to shut down these illegal dispensaries.
Talking about outreach and the idea of transferring that from the county to the city, why do you think the city of Barrie would be better equipped to handle something like that?
Well, I think on the streets of the city of Barrie, we have, Barrie Police there. That's an easy conversation. We've got bylaw, we've got zoning. We need to be able to offer the help and support these individuals need who are suffering from addictions, and we need to do it in a meaningful, coordinated, and comprehensive way. We need to be at every place where we see hurting individuals using drugs. And right now, we just, as a city, don't have the oversight to be able to be sure or even to confirm that these things are happening in the right way at the right time. There shouldn't be a situation where there are 6 or 7 people doing drugs that they're not being asked to go into rehabilitative care, into detox. There shouldn't be situations where there are clouds of smoke. And this doesn't matter if it's downtown or anywhere else in the city. We need to have outreach services that are going out to people and encouraging them towards a good future, a strong future, a bright future. And at the same time, we talk about that zero tolerance. We need to make sure we have the police services in place to be able to, confirm what the laws are on the streets of the city of Barrie. And if I may, it's really important. The police are one set inside of this continuum of justice. We need judges to actually deliver strong judgments. We shut down mushroom shops last year with police raids. The result was each and every one of those individuals were given conditional discharges. That meant there was no real penalty for drug dealers after they were arrested by Barrie police. We need to be able to have a judgment system that actually puts criminals where they belong and makes them pay, and we need a prosecution service that can actually prosecute the crimes after the police have gone and made the arrests. We can't leave the police out on their own on this. We've seen what happens when that happens.
Finally, the state of emergency. We had talked about that ending in May.
Yes.
Does that mean that's going to change?
Yeah, I think it's important. You know, one thing we've witnessed over the last number of weeks throughout the city of Barrie, I was out in a forest off of Ardagh Road the other day. With the nicer weather, folks are coming back from other parts of the country, other parts of the province, into the city of Barrie, and we need to make sure that we don't allow the proliferation of encampments, of homelessness, or any of these other things. We know that the criminal elements come around those, so we're going to continue with that state of emergency until such time that we feel that we have full control.
Okay. I've been speaking with the Mayor of Barrie, Alex Nuttall. Thank you for taking the time. This is an ongoing conversation, and you can follow it all on the website. Let's go ahead and pull it up. There it is, ctvnews.ca/Barrie. It is a journey through timeless Broadway musical classics with a talented group who encourage audience members to sing along. The Bravado Show Choir redefines choir with a little dance and talented accompanying band. Curtains Up Bravado Does Broadway is sure to move audiences in a way only they can. The talented community choir hits all the right notes for both entertainment and enthusiasm.
It's so fun to be on stage. It's basically like you're in like 25 different musicals all in one night.
There are so many different levels of abilities. I'm not professionally trained either, and I think that's what makes it more fun and enjoyable because we're all doing the same thing at our very best ability.
Curtains Up Bravado Does Broadway is on May 1st and 2nd at the Georgian Theatre in Barrie. One of our team members is a part of the choir, so we will be supporting her on Friday night. We would love if you could join us. Rackets, meanwhile, were swinging, sneakers were squeaking, and school spirit was on full display today at the 3rd Annual Simcoe County District School Board Pickleball.
It's not the hardest sport to pick up. I definitely think everybody that has the chance to should pick up a paddle and play wherever they can. I started playing a few years back. Definitely a lot of people have been playing it longer than me, and I'm really happy that I can see it grow in North America and here in Collingwood.
A total of 46 teams, that's 92 students, competed in both the competitive and recreational divisions held at Smash Collingwood. The annual pickleball tournament serves as a platform for competitive engagement and student teamwork.
Definitely moves quick. It really depends on your opponents and how they want to play the game. It's awesome. It's super fun to just be able to play friends, people you know, people around. It's really fun.
I hope that they see how fun and inclusive this sport is, how easy it is to compete, and just a sense of accomplishment for doing something out of their comfort zone today.
Looks like it was a smashing success for the school board, and the hope is for next year's Pickleball tournament to be even bigger. It's a bit of a tongue twister right there. Still to come, we're getting closer to game time at Sadlin Arena. Rob will be speaking with the man behind the bench, keying in on what the team needs to focus on tonight to come away with the W. But first, let's head outside. Cases in Bob's Garden.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is National Zipper Day. Coming up, I'll let you know if it could be on a raincoat, spring coat, or winter coat? I'll let you know. Our weather watcher artiste, have a look. Sebastian is saying take a walk through the forest and you might even see a tree growing sideways, like the forecast. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
like? Isn't that so fun? We are embracing things that are new, whether it's sports, food, hobbies. Continue to capture those special moments, and please do share them with us. Picture this at ctv.ca for a chance to be featured. Now, Casey Colby, I did something new today. I went to Collingwood for the first time. I hate to admit that. I've only been there for snowboarding, but today I was actually in the downtown core. I was speaking to the Probus Club of Hume Street and District Collingwood, and part of it was about my upbringing, but I'm reminded of this when I saw your A-Channel hat, because my career in many ways started back in 2010 when I was hired by A-Channel, which is now CTV Ottawa. Anyway, I was feeling nostalgic, so I too have a little blast from the past.
Wow. This is kind of a nostalgia day, isn't it? Fantastic. I know you probably had a good time in Collingwood with the Probus Club. Absolutely. Let's talk about a good time for the weather. Yeah, he said hopefully. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up. There's a little bit of everything here. And here we go, starting with the temperature outside your door right now. 16 degrees in Alliston as we speak, 15 in Toronto, 12 in Gravenhurst, 14 in Orillia, and 12 degrees in beautiful Collingwood any time of year. First time there, Sarah? Shame. Almanac, 13 and 9. That's the high, that's the low. A record 30 degrees in 1990. And, well, 1873, I don't remember. Minus 7.2, we're told. 14 hours and 8 minutes of daylight. Roll that forecast radar, would you please, Adam? And looking at the forecast radar, considerable cloud cover. Some shower activity. Yeah, there's some shower activity. Like I mentioned, we had a brief moment of sunshine out here. Is there more in the long range? Yes, there is. There is more. Maybe even a little tomorrow. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe, mainly cloudy skies. 30% chance of showers this evening. Winds gusting. They'll pick up over the course of the evening, 30 to 50 k out of the northwest. 6 and 8 tomorrow. 8 and 6 tomorrow. 1 to 3 millimeters of rainfall expected tomorrow under mainly cloudy skies. A blip of a sliver of sunshine, got to say it like that, perhaps. Not a whole lot of sunshine, ladies and gentlemen. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 4 and 6 degrees. Partly cloudy skies this evening. Slight chance of a passing shower as per the forecast radar. Tomorrow, well, yeah, 2 to 4 millimeters of rainfall. Not a whole lot of rain, but mainly cloudy skies. And anticipating a little rainfall. 10 degrees is the high in Richmond Hill. To Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, 2 and 3 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. 40% chance of a shower this evening. And then for tomorrow, well, more cloud than sun, but still some sunshine. There is a 60% chance of some showers coming down in the Halliburton region, 2 to 4 millimeters of rainfall. Oh, where are those sunny days? They can be found, ladies and gentlemen, in the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. Let's go. Simcoe County, here we go. And each and every day has a slight chance of showers. Yes, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday. 30% chance of showers each and every day, 9, 8, and 7 degrees. Yeah, that's a little cooler than we should be right now, but yeah, the crow isn't too happy with me. This is the 5-day extended forecast in York region, and same situation. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Hey, it's sun and cloud mix, but there's each and every day. Environment Canada says there is a slight chance of passing shower. 9 degrees across the board until you make it Sunday. 8 degrees. This is Muskoka, Parry Sound, Halliburton, and same situation. Some sunshine, plenty of cloud cover, and slight chance of showers each and every day. 9 and 8s, lots of 9 and 8s, and a 7 there on Sunday. And there is also a chance, I saved this to the very end, there is also a chance of a few flurries coming down on the Sunday. That's what and the Saturday, Environment Canada says. Sarah, back inside.
Save that little spicy tidbit to the end. Thanks, Case. Let's head back to Sadlin Arena now. Jerseys are on, laces are tight. Colts and the Bulldogs are set to hit the ice for a big face-off. CTV's Rob Cooper joins us once again from the Colts home arena. We've got more excitement for tonight's game. Rob, take it away.
Well, Sarah, the Bulldogs and the Colts, you can see behind me, just wrapping up their pregame skate right now. All the fans entering tonight's game getting one of these are essentially a noisemaker that you fold up to make lots of noise. Colts obviously hoping fans get into this game. Certainly a very important matchup tonight, a pivotal game 4. Colts trailing the series 2-1. Now, earlier today, I had a chance to catch up with Barrie coach Dylan Smoskowitz. We spoke about the matchup and the feelings going into this very big game here tonight. Well, Coach, it's not a must-win game, but pretty close.
Yeah, I think, you know what, I was thinking about this earlier today. I've been in the league now for a combination of 8 years between being a player and a coach. I've never played a game that wasn't a must-win game. I've never been a part of one like that. You come to the rink, you need to win. That's just the way that hockey at this level is. So our guys are used to that. I'm looking forward to a good game tonight.
Series at 2-1. How big is that first goal in Game 4?
We'd love the first goal. You know, is it a make or break kind of thing? No, it's not. Our guys are well trained to play through any situation. They're well trained to hold the lead. They're well trained to come back if need be. We're just looking for a solid start. We want a good start. The first couple shifts, get your feet going, get your mind into it, get your body into it, and then roll from there.
I know you're focused on the team, but an individual award this week, Kayshawn Aitchison being selected as top defenseman of the OHL. I know you're not surprised, and how proud are you?
So proud. I mean, proud is just an understatement. There's not a word that can really describe the feeling for the kid. He's done so much for this team, for this city. He never asks anything of us. He just does everything that we ask of him. And for him to be recognized again, it's so well deserved. And I'm so excited to watch this kid in the future. I'm going to be a Kayshawn Aitchison fan for as long as he plays.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Coach. Okay, back live at Salin Arena now. Again, game time about 15 minutes away. Again, Barrie entering this game, Sarah, down 2-1. Very much an important matchup for the Colts as they look to even this series up at 2. And I'm sure the fans who are now starting to make their way in are all set to cheer on the hometown Colts. Reporting live at Salin Arena, I'm Rob Cooper. Sarah, let's go back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks for that, Rob. Reminder, puck drop is at 7 p.m. tonight, and we'll have all the highlights on CTV Barrie at 11. The highly anticipated spring economic statement is out, and coming up next here on CTV Barrie, the PM's plans for the country and why the opposition says it may not be what Canadians need. Details coming up next. Recapping our top stories, Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall unveiling ideas that include strong-handed measures to restore order to what he calls a lawlessness downtown. It includes closing illegal dispensaries, taking over outreach services, and petitioning Barrie Police to focus efforts on a new zero-tolerance approach for drug use. Most flooded areas in Bracebridge have dried up from what's been the worst flooding season since 2019. All roads are now open across the district. The town will be holding a debrief to review its response to this year's flooding and will be looking at impacted areas of infrastructure to assess and repair the damage that's been caused. Prime Minister Mark Carney and his government unveiled its spring economic statement today. CTV senior political correspondent Mike Ligator breaks it down.
It's more than just an economic update, proposing $37.5 billion in new measures over 5 years. A part of that includes a new skills training program. The government hopes to recruit, train, and hire between 80 and 100,000 skilled tradespeople by 2031. The cost of the program is $5.9 billion.
This means real pathways into skilled trades with paid training and on experience. It means more opportunities for employers to hire and train young workers.
While the deficit was $11 billion lower this year compared to last fall's projection, the long-term outlook is largely unchanged, with no path to balance for the next 5 years. And the deficit will remain over $50 billion into the 2030-31 fiscal year.
Today's Liberal fiscal updates brings more costs, more debt, and more bills on the national credit card. This Prime Minister is just another Liberal.
Royalties from high oil prices are contributing to government revenues, but Canada is facing fiscal headwinds from the ongoing trade war with its largest trading partner.
Together, we can chart a path forward to the fog of uncertainty, because Canada has what the world wants and increasingly needs. We have the right plan. We're building big. We're moving fast.
In addition to yesterday's announcement of the Canada Sovereign Fund, there is other new spending. $755 million over 5 years to support Canada's sports system, including Olympic athletes, and $4.3 billion for Indigenous communities. There is one pocketbook measure Canadians could feel. The government is reducing the contribution rate for the Canada Pension Plan. Someone earning $70,000 per year will get to keep $133 more of their take-home pay annually. But there are a few other new measures to help Canadians on a daily basis.
I think what it demonstrates is the high fiscal cost to the government of trying to introduce new pocketbook saving measures for Canadians. It is very expensive.
Pressed on that, the finance minister pointed to measures like bolstering the grocery and essentials benefit, as well as suspending the excise tax on gasoline until Labor Day, as ways the government is helping Canadians deal with the affordability crisis. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Excuse me. Still to come, celebrating 107 years of life. We'll have more on a Mississauga man marking a major milestone when we come back. Here's a look at your primetime lineup. Never Too Late to Celebrate starts at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 p.m. and CTV News Barrie at 11. Thanks for staying with us. Living through history, a Mississauga man celebrated his 107th birthday today. He's now one of the oldest people in our province, and CTV's Corey Baird spoke with him about the milestone.
A birthday bash befitting the occasion.
Happy birthday to you.
It's 107 years for Ivan Winnichuk, or to hear him tell it, 107 and counting.
Thank you, everybody.
Being 107 comes with challenges, and not in the how do you get that many candles on a cake variety. In the Ukraine of the 1930s, Ivan overcame inconceivable hardships. During the Holodomor, a famine induced by the Soviet Republic, Winnichuk and his family were shipped to Siberia. He was later drafted to fight for the Russians in World War II before fleeing to Germany, where he met his wife Olga, immigrating to Canada in 1951.
His mother says to him, never look back, always go forward, look for freedom and peace. Forget about us, just keep on going west.
West he went, building a home in London, Ontario with his bare hands. Hands he'd use in his later years to make origami for his great-granddaughters.
Even when we go to visit him when he was like 100 years old, he could still pick us up even if we're so tall and and he always just reiterates how important it is to keep moving around, stay healthy, and he can.
No drinking booze. No smoking, no stress, and he always knew that he can overcome things. He was a very, very positive person, very positive character.
Ivan is currently the 4th oldest person in Ontario, with a competitive streak that won't let him be content to stay in that position.
I challenged him to be 110. He always wins.
Corey Baird, CTV News, Mississauga.
How touching. And speaking of birthdays, Case, this little maple leaf pin right here was a gift for my birthday. Get this, it's made from the original copper from the roof of Canada's Parliament buildings from 1918 to 1996. How neat is that?
That is so cool. Yeah. Very, very nice. Nicely done all the way around. You too, Mother Nature. First thing tomorrow morning, let's see how well we do first thing tomorrow morning with the Get Up and Go forecast first thing. We're being very optimistic. A sliver of sunshine in the Barrie area and 6 degrees at 7 o'clock. Yeah, and 6 degrees it looks like in Newmarket as well. And with a sliver of sunshine stretching all the way up to Gravenhurst and 3 degrees. First thing in the morning, mainly cloudy, we're going to say. Have yourself a fantastic evening, Sarah.
Same to you, Casey, and a special thank you not only to our viewers, but all of the wonderful people that I met today in Collingwood. Hearing your stories and your constant support for the station really does mean a lot. Have a fantastic evening.